What's up, everybody? This is Bryon Knows Movies. I am your creator and host, Brian Williams, and I love film. Ever since I can remember, I was going to our local Cinemark to watch the newest release like The Matrix, to running out to Blockbuster to find a classic to enjoy. I've watched movies for decades, and I can tell you that there's nothing that satisfies me more than a good action or horror or drama or comedy that I can sit and talk about with my friends. So I wanted to create a community where we can do just that. And we're going to do it all. We're going to cover it all. We're going to have movie reviews. We're going to discuss the classics. We're going to have a debate show and much, much more. I want you to be able to join me if you love to discuss, talk, and enjoy film. Now, I don't claim to be a movie critic. All I know is that I have an opinion that is built off of the decades and the thousands of movies I've seen in my lifetime. But you're going to be able to tell me if I know my stuff. I want you to be able to share with me what I got right, what I got wrong, and we can enjoy film together. So let's go ahead and stop playing games. I'm so excited about this first movie to talk about. Let's go.
Hey! What you doing back here? Mufasa! Say it again!
Okay, everybody, the first movie review on the channel Bryon Knows Movies is coming to America. That's right, this is the second one coming out here this year in 2021. We've been waiting for this movie for 30 years, guys. We have Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall back in those famous roles of Prince Akeem and Simi. We're back in Zamunda. We're back in Queens, and the stakes have been elevated. We see that Prince Akeem now has to carry the kingdom of Zamunda and protect his kingdom. There is a threat of outside forces. There's a threat on his life. A lot of things going on in this movie that you wouldn't expect. Also, he has to find an heir to the throne. He has to have a male heir to the throne. At this present time, he only has daughters. It must have been in like the deleted scenes in the first movie, I don't know, but apparently he finds out that he has a long lost son living in Queens, New York. So the gang is back at it again, trying to find this son and trying to train him to be the next king of Zamunda. This movie has an incredible cast of characters. We're excited to see a lot of familiar faces from that 1980s film. James Earl Jones is back. Really excited to see him. You have Cherie Headley coming back. John Amos is back as Mr. McDowell. We even have Paul Bates. You probably remember Paul Bates. I haven't seen Paul Bates since the last coming to America, but he played the head royal servant that had those pipes. She's your queen too. I can't do it like him. They did a good job of introducing new characters that you're going to enjoy as well. Leslie Jones can do no wrong. I don't care what anybody says. She is funny. Wesley Snipes is great. We have Tracy Morgan in the movie and a bunch of other folks too. So we're in Zamunda for the most of the movie. You have all these great characters. This movie has no other option but to be great, right? Right? Unfortunately, this movie really struggles in the writing department, which is strange because Eddie Murphy, he brought in his guys that he normally writes with. Barry Blaustein and David Sheffield. These are guys that he worked with on Boomerang, The First Coming to America, Nutty Professor, all these great movies that we love. He also brought in Kenya Burris, who we know from Grownish and Blackish. And they write this movie and you're expecting, because they're familiar with the material, that you're going to deliver something that's going to give us a good time. But unfortunately, what they wrote seemed to be, it's lacking to me. It's too focused on nostalgia. Not only that, but they're rehashing themes. But the way they rehash the themes, it makes Prince Akeem pretty unlikable. We liked Prince Akeem in the first movie because he was brave, he was well-spoken, he had this charisma about him. He had this ability to buck against the system and think outside of tradition and to pursue his true love. But now he's playing the King Joffrey role, and all of that character development is just like out the window. Like he's now cares about tradition way too much. He's pretty spineless at points. So he becomes this unlikable character, and he's the person we're here to see. He's the focal point of the movie. Jermaine Fowler plays the long lost son. The character in the movie who you're supposed to kind of relate to, similar to like you did Prince Akeem, a similar story, different but pretty much the same thing. I don't think I could have cared less about that character throughout the whole movie. It doesn't make sense that Prince Akeem would choose his long-lost son, nothing against him, but choose him to come back to Zamunda and go through this rigorous training in about a week to become the heir apparent to the throne. It doesn't make sense. Kiki Lang, who plays his oldest daughter in the movie, if you don't know Kiki Lang, she was great in If Beale Street Could Talk. I loved her in the action movie, The Old Guard, that came out last year with Charlize Theron. I think that she's going to be a major player in Hollywood over the next 5 to 7 years. She's completely wasted.
I always thought that Mika was going to be queen.
A woman isn't allowed to rule Zamunda. It's the law.
Did it ever occur to you that Mika wanted to be your heir?
Don't you dare banish me from my own bedroom.
She doesn't get any screen time like she should. And when she's on the screen, all you can think about is how she should be the heir apparent. She's been trained for this all her life, and how asinine and how stupid all this other stuff is. You know, Prince Akeem doesn't recognize her feelings, that she's been trained for this her whole life. It doesn't seem very Prince Akeem-like. All those things are because the writing was bad in this movie. I'm sorry, it just was. The writing was really bad. There are some saving graces in the film. Mainly the side characters, the new side characters specifically. They really shine in this movie. Leslie Jones, hilarious. Picture perfect, wouldn't change a thing about her. Even the dialogue that she had that wasn't the greatest, she did what she needed to do with that dialogue. She made it funny. She brought that energy. She's very physical. I love physical comedians. Leslie Jones, scene stiller in every scene that she's in.
And General Izzy would love nothing more than to take over Zamunda.
Raise it higher.
Wesley Snipes, my man Wesley Snipes, is having so much fun in this movie. I think he understands what movie he's in. He plays like this fake caricature of like an Idi Amin character called General Izzy. He's the one that's kind of threatening assassination towards Prince Akeem if there's not a reconciliation through an arranged marriage within the movie. Between the two kingdoms. All that stuff doesn't matter. I don't think he really cares, Wesley Snipes, in this character about any of that at all. He's there to kind of pimp walk and go through these big dance routines and just be bombastic throughout the whole movie, and you love every single moment that he's on camera. How is the villain one of the most likable, if not the most likable character in the whole movie? I don't know, but I don't feel bad about loving that character. Where is my General Izzy movie? That's the one that I want to see. Also, Tracy Morgan is great. Cherie Headley, especially later on in the film, she's really good as Lisa McDowell, like she was in the first one. These side characters really help to elevate the movie. Also, there's some surprise cameos that really make this movie fun to enjoy, in these huge set pieces that are intermittent throughout the film. They help to save and to bring your attention back to the story a bit too. So there are a few good things going on with the film, mainly based off the code of personality of the crew and the side characters that are having so much fun making this film. All right, so what's the verdict on Coming to America? But let me explain my scoring system. It's pretty straightforward. It's see it, stream it, or leave it. See it means go see it in the theaters. This is something you want to have the full experience for. The acting is great. The direction is great. Everything about the movie screams that you want to see this in a theater. Shoveling popcorn in your mouth, drinking your Coke, having a good time. Then we have stream it. Still a decent movie, an okay movie, maybe even a good movie, but you know, the small screen is fine. Waiting for it to come on Netflix or Hulu or Amazon is fine. You don't have to run out and see this film right now. And finally, of course, leave it. Leave it means it's terrible, it's gutter trash. There's nothing redeeming about the movie. Skip it. You would do better with your time putting a puzzle together than watching that film. So see it, stream it, or leave it. I had a really hard time figuring out what I wanted to do with Coming to America, because I just think that the writing was just so, I can't call it anything else but lazy. The way that they shoehorned all these nostalgia pieces into this film, what they did to Prince Akeem, they kept calling the long lost son the bastard son of Prince Akeem, but they bastardized Prince Akeem character. So those things really, really irked me, but I'm still going to say stream it. There's no way I can't say that I did not thoroughly enjoy Wesley Snipes when he was on screen. He has a decent amount of screen time. There's no way I can't say that I didn't thoroughly enjoy Leslie Jones and some of these other characters, the cameos, the big musical numbers. All those things were really fun. That saves the movie. It's stream it, but barely for me. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a person who's a fanatic about films. Bryon Knows Movies. That's the whole point of this channel, is the dialogue with you. Please go into the comment section and tell me what you thought about Coming to America, if you've seen it already. If you haven't seen it, if you plan to see it. Also, just like every other YouTube video you see, please like, share, subscribe. This is my first video. Big things are to come. Thank you, and I'll see you at the theater next week.